define a new array that contains the frequency or the count of each element. So we said it's between 1 and 10. So I guess it needs to have size 11. So I have like 0, position 0, but I'm not going to use it. So I'm going to define like an integer array called frequency of size 11. I want that to be filled with zeros. I think Java might do that already, but just to be safe, can I like assume there's a fill function in Java? Yeah, I forgot if it's first the array and then the number, or if it's the other way around. Can I just assume like I pass the array and then the number and it fills it?
Yeah, let's assume that works.
Okay, so let me just do arrays that fill the frequency and 0. So right now, all the elements of frequency are going to be 0. And now I got to count how many times each element in the original array appears. And so the frequency of that element is going to be increased. Okay, so frequency, so for each element of the array, frequency of that element, it's going to be increased by 1. Yeah, I think that works. Now what I need to do is to fill the array with the actual number, so I can actually overwrite it. So I can find how many times it's in frequency and just fill it. So let me just start with the number. In this case, I start with number 1. I'm going to fill all the ones. So for each element in the array, if the frequency is 0, I'm just going to go to the next number. So, and I'm going to do the while. So if I have like multiple zeros, I'm just going to keep going until I find the frequency that's not 0. And then the array at that position, if it wasn't 0, it's going to be that number. So for example, here, if I had a 1, array at position 0 would be a 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that this works.
Can you tell me the complexity for this algorithm?
Sure. So this fill is probably O of n, or I could implement it at O of n. Just go through your array and put zeros. This again, it's also O of n, and this is also O of n. So it's going to be O of n.
Okay, nice. Way better than your first algorithm. So, do you think you could walk through an example?
Yeah, sure. Can I pick a small example? Like, let me think. It has to have like repeated numbers because I want the frequency to be more than 1. And I guess it has to be not sorted. So can this 3, 3, 1 work?
Yeah, that works perfect.
Okay, perfect. So array is 3, 3, 1. Frequency, it's going to be all zeros, so I already filled this. For each element in the array, so this is going to be 0. Array at position 0, it's going to be 3. Frequency of 3, I'm going to increase it. It was 0, now it's 1. I'm going to go again. I is now 1. Array at position 1 is another 3. So frequency of 3, it was 1, now it's going to be 2. And now I is 2. Array at position, sorry. 1 second, I'm a little bit nervous. Yeah, array at position 2, it was 1. Frequency of 1, now I'm going to increase it, and now it's going to be 1. So in the end, like, frequency is going to be 2 at number 3 and 1 on number 1, and that is what I want. So yeah, this is okay. Now the number is 1, so I'm going to start with 1. For I 0, so this is like I is going to be 0. Frequency of 1 is not 0, so I'm not going to go in here. I'm going to go here. Array at position 0, it's going to be 1, which is what I want. Okay, the next one, frequency at position num is 1, it's not 0. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. I forgot that frequency, I need to decrease it.
Oh.
So, because here I would put like 1, 1, 1 all over again, because this frequency will never decrease. So I just put here frequency of number minus minus, and that way I'm going to decrease it, and the next time it could be 0. So let me just go again. Array at position 0, it's going to be 1. Frequency of 1 is now minus minus, so now it's going to be 0. I go I is 2. Frequency of 1, it's going to be 0. So I increase 1. I increase this by 1. Frequency of 2, it's going to be 0. So I increase this. So frequency of 3, it's going to be 2, not 0. So array of position I was 1. Array of position 1 is 3. And then again, I decrease frequency. Frequency is now 1. Frequency here is not 0. I write at position 2, it's going to be 3. And then I'm out of the loop, and the array in the end is 1, 3, 3, which is what I wanted.
Nice, perfect.
Looks, yeah, I think that's fine. Sorry, I made a mistake.
No, that's fine. You corrected it.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much, Anna. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. Do you like working at Google?
Yeah, I love it.
What office do you work on?
I work in the office in Waterloo in Canada.
Oh, that's cold. Is Mountain View not a better office?
No, it's not.
Is there a lot of food at Google?
There's really good food at Google.
Oh, I like food.
And it's free.
It's free? Oh my god, I want free food. So I did very well, so you're gonna hire me, right?
I can't answer that question, but you can reach out to your recruiter at the end of the interview, and they'll tell you whether you pass the interview or not.
Okay. Well, thank you, Camila.
All right, have a good day, Anna.
Bye-bye.